Hi everybody, and blessed be, it's me Alex. And this is sort of a serious video that I wanted to do today about LGBT equality. It's a response video actually to QuestionChrist, a Christian here on YouTube. Hi Pete, how's it going? And his channel is one of the channels that I watch sometimes. I don't only watch Wiccan channels or things that I agree with. I often watch other channels, like his channel, for example, or sometimes I watch atheist channels just to get a diversity of opinion and to see what people are saying out there, and to just to get different ideas about what people are talking about. So I had made a comment on his channel about how that I've never seen a Christian on YouTube who opposes gay people speak out against the violence that occurs to gay people, and how I thought that that speaks volumes, and I do. I really do. Because I feel like that if Christians didn't want that violence to happen, then they would publicly say so when they're teaching things like, well, the things that they teach about people like me and Kit. So anyway, I wanted to respond to Pete's video. He actually made a video denouncing violence against gay people, which I applaud, and I think that that is a wonderful thing. And I think that more Christians need to speak out against the violence that happens as a result of the things that they teach about gay people. Because there is a link between that. There's the more active kind of violence that occurs against gay people, where violent people out there hear these homophobic messages from religious leaders and religious teachers, and they take them and they run with them, and they go out and they commit acts of violence against gay and lesbian people, against transgendered people, against bi people. And there's also the passive kind of violence that occurs by people internalizing, gay people internalizing the homophobic teachings of their religious leaders, and who end up doing violence against themselves, as the recent attention in the media to gay youth committing suicide proves. And that's nothing new. That's been going on all along. I think it's just now that a lot of people are becoming more aware of those kinds of things. And in my youth, before I walked away from Christianity, I attempted suicide as well. And I don't want to make a particularly sad video or anything, but it is a sad thing, and I am very thankful that I lived through those suicide attempts, because I had no idea how wonderful life could be, or the kind of love that I would find in my life as a result of finding Kit, and knowing his family, and having our family together has been just wonderful, a great blessing. Pete put a link in his video to one of his friends, I guess, another Christian on YouTube, who did a video about gay people. Actually, they call it homosexuality, because a lot of times Christians like to use clinical terms to make it sound like that there's something strange or weird that they're talking about, I guess. It's one of the tactics that they use to dehumanize gay people. But I wanted to address some of the issues that were brought up in that. One thing is that they often refer to us as, and to the way we live, as a lifestyle. And I think part of the reason that people do that is because they want to put some kind of, they want to portray us as people who are partiers, who are engaged in all kinds of wild sex and partying, you know, and that's just not the reality. The lifestyle that me and Kit lead is we work full-time, and we go shopping for groceries, and we struggle to make ends meet. We go out to eat occasionally when we can afford it, and that kind of thing. And that leaves very little time for partying and for going wild. And it's a very kind of calm life that we lead, and very similar to the lives of our fellow Americans. So it's not a lifestyle. It is an issue of our core identity and who we are, who we were born to be. And to say that it's a lifestyle is kind of insulting. There are wild people and partiers who are both gay or straight out there, and orientation has nothing to do with that. Some people, and I make no judgments on people for the kind of life that they lead, but some people have wilder lives than others. But to say that gay people are engaging in some kind of lifestyle is very misleading and very irresponsible, because it dehumanizes us. and makes it easier for the violence in our culture to continue. Another thing that I wanted to address that was in Dave's video about gay people, which is he called homosexuality, was he suggested that maybe there was some kind of biological origin for sexual orientation, but he compared it to alcoholism or drug addiction and a predisposition towards that. And that's extremely insulting as well, because the statistics involved in that are just, there's far more gay people in the world than there are people who are born predispositioned toward alcoholism or toward drug addiction or toward violence. And to claim that orientation is somehow on the same level as alcoholism is also degrading and insulting. And I know that some people, in their response videos and comments to your videos, compared you to the people in Kansas, the Westboro Baptist Church, when they hold up their signs saying that your deity hates us and everyone else who supports us. I don't compare you to those people, Pete. Because I know and I sense that you're trying to come from a very loving place, and I think that more Christians would, it would benefit more Christians if they would try to come from a more loving place too, if all of us would try to come from a more loving place. So I don't compare you to those kinds of people, but the fact is that no matter how politely or how nicely people teach homophobia, it's still homophobia that they're teaching. And when a teacher stands up and speaks out and says that gay people are somehow rejected because of who they are or because of who they love, and that they're required by your deity to live a life of celibacy, or that our love is somehow less and that our humanity isn't equal to the humanity of heterosexuals, it really sends a message to the world out there and to people who take action on what you're teaching. Like I said about the active violence and the more passive forms of violence, there are people out there who take those teachings and who run with them and who will eagerly commit acts of violence against gay people like me and Kit and the other Americans that we represent. And you know, it's a horrible thing to have to worry about in your daily life, whether is today going to be the day that I get attacked in the street, or are people going to break in and murder us? Are people going to fire us from our jobs because of who we are and because of who we love? And those religious teachings that Christianity holds on to in some of its sectors, they give the green light for that, and it is the foundational root from which those kinds of acts of violence arise. And then there's the even more disturbing kind of violence where gay youth internalize all of those teachings and take action against themselves. And speaking as someone who's a former Christian, that's exactly what happened in my life. I was of a fundamentalist Christian mindset until the time that I walked away from Christianity, and I'm very glad that I lived through those suicide attempts, because I had no idea how wonderful life could be and how wonderful the love that I have with Kit could be. And I'm so thankful that I found him and that I didn't listen to those, that I finally woke up and walked away from a religion that told me that I was less than other human beings, and that somehow the love that I felt in my heart wasn't worthy or was somehow aberrant or an abomination. I'm so glad that I rejected that, and I encourage everyone to reject that, whatever their orientation might be. So those are some of my thoughts about it, and may we look forward to a day when love is celebrated throughout the earth, regardless of the genders of the people involved. And may love in all of its forms be embraced by all beings. Blessed be, and peace.